Okay. Are you sure? Okay.
CB, did you double check your shot?
We did that already.
Okay, well, we welcome you to our Over the Glass series. This is our third installment, and we're really excited as we approach the holidays. Lisa and I wanted to create this forum where we bring in local experts to help us kind of balance life and get a better grip on things. There's so much stress, there's so much confusion, there's so much stuff, and there's so many experts out there that can help us. And we just appreciate that they volunteer and they come and they help and they share their time and things like this. So this whole series really could be anything that deals with balance and wellness. So it includes finance, health, fitness, spirit, or just kind of a lot of fun. So today we welcome Paula Shaw, who is going to help us cope with holiday stress. So Paula, hi, welcome Paula.
Thank you so much, Darius.
Okay.
I'm delighted to be here. And I had my share of holiday stress getting here, so I'm so glad to be here. And I'm going to have a sip of this.
There you go. Cheers.
To all of you.
So Paula is a life transition specialist who specializes in grief. She's also a best-selling author, keynote speaker, and she's a host on AM 1170, The Answer Transition Radio. So for more than 20 years, Paula's been passionate about empowering people who are dealing with profound loss, to help them return the pain into possibilities. She uses mind and body tools to help people ease and eliminate stress, depression, anxiety, and conditions that precipitate into weight gain, relationship distress, lack of energy, apathy towards life. And so today we're going to talk about when wine isn't enough. Yeah. How do we deal with holiday stress? So, welcome, Paula.
Thank you. And may I say that, put out a disclaimer right away. Nothing I am saying is to be used as a replacement for your wine. So you want to be sure you stock up before you leave here. But in addition to, then maybe we can help you in some other ways. And you know, there are those hours in the day when we're not allowed to drink wine yet. So we have to have some tools to get through that.
Hey, it's 5 o'clock someplace.
Yes, right.
So, this time of year, I actually personally have a hard time with this time of year. Everybody's supposed to be happy and joyful, and Lisa loves Christmas. She loves playing Christmas songs. And I often find myself getting into a funk. And it's not necessarily my favorite time of year, and I don't really know why sometimes. So, is it really the most wonderful time of year or what? So.
I know, I used to say, oh, it's my favorite time of the year, like so many women do. I haven't heard too many men say that. But women are always saying, oh, it's my favorite time of the year. And then one day I asked myself, why? Because our load quadruples at this time of the year, right? Because in addition to everything we're already doing that was keeping us too busy as it was or is, now we have the shopping and the wrapping and the baking and the parties and not getting enough sleep and maybe eating the things that don't work with our ideal food plan or drinking too much, or all those things that we are so tempted and pushed to do at this time of year. I was just chuckling to myself when I was getting ready tonight that it's like every group I belong to is obsessed with having some kind of a Christmas gathering, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the gift would be if you just say we're not going to do it this year. But it doesn't happen. Everybody wants to get together. So that's one more thing on your calendar, one more $20 gift you got to put in a little bag and wrap, right? There's so much.
Yeah.
There's so much.
And just, Thanksgiving and then Christmas and then holiday, New Year's. And I guess with all the marketing and hype and things like that, it is stressful. Everybody wants the perfect gift. Everybody wants the perfect experience, the perfect party. Everything's got to be, and that just loads up the stress, right? Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Absolutely. I had a funny incident yesterday, and I was at my Rotary group, And I was talking to a man about the whole holiday thing, and he said, well, I'm Jewish. We don't have to do all this stuff. And my neighbors are always pushing me to put up blue lights or whatever. And I'm like, why? Why would I do that when it's not in my religion to have to take part in that insanity? And I said, wow, that's really cool. It's enough to make you want to convert.
Well, I'm sure they've got their stresses too, because their holiday is extended for how many days, you know?
That's just 7. But I don't think they're quite as nutty as we are during that whole 7 days. I don't know.
I don't know. I know some nutty people. So, you know, I used to run a software company, and unfortunately, this time of year is when government contracts start changing. And oftentimes I had to lay people off. And so now we've got this additional stress, you know, that, you know, here's this person, they're a fine employee, but we just don't have the money to pay them, so we have to lay them off. And it's a horrible time to do that, because that just loads more stress on top of people. You know, we just had some good friends. His wife just passed away. Kind of, it wasn't unexpected, but it's still traumatic, you know. And we had a neighbor just about a month ago who, within about 3 months, passed away of colon cancer. It just, all this stuff happens so fast. And this just increases the stress on top of the holiday, right? So, I mean, what can people do? How do they deal with this?
Well, first of all, what I would like to say is I love that you have opened the definition of loss up to more than death. You know, when we think of the word grief, we so often just think of death. But the truth is that grief is a normal, natural response to any kind of loss. So whether you lost your favorite ring, or you lost an animal you love, or a relationship ended, or you lost your job or your home, these are all losses that produce grief. Grief, by the way, is not an emotion. Grief's a genre. Grief might, what's your name, darling?
Lauren.
Lauren?
Lori.
Grief might show up for Lori in a fearful way. She might find it hard to leave her house. You know, she might be worrying about a bunch of things. It might show up for Darius as anxiety. You know, like he just doesn't know why, but he's just kind of not comfortable all the time. For some people, it's extreme sadness, and they're just crying all the time. For others, it can be, what are some other ways? Sleeplessness, depression. Yes, grief has many faces. So stress, really, when you think about it, and grief are kind of synonymous. And also I'd throw PTSD in there. Because when I do this radio show, Transition Radio, and our tagline is, because everyone is either moving from something or going towards something. So our goal on the show is to give people information to help make the changes and the transitions in their life smoother and more productive. So recently we were looking at PTSD, we were looking at depression and grief. And when I looked at the symptoms for these 3 things, there's so much similarity. Sleeplessness, headaches, difficulty with focusing, being drawn to past memories. That, by the way, is another reason why this time of year is loaded for people. Yeah. Because let's say you lost someone that you love, and now, you know, the holidays come and you start remembering the holidays past when that person was with you. And here's another thing I think. While I love the whole Career and Ives thing, and I'm a Norman Rockwell fan like everybody else, but they did us dirty, you know, because they made everything look so ideal. From that Norman Rockwell of the ideal Thanksgiving dinner, which nobody has ever had one that looks like that. Nobody carves at the table anymore, though I made my brother do that one year and it was pretty great. But you know what I mean? We have these ideal dreams of what the holidays should look like. And how many of you have ever been disappointed about how your holidays turned out? That's just about all of us. And the others are probably not being honest. So, yeah, we have this idea in our head of how it's supposed to be, and a lot of it is supposed to be about love and joy and fun and happy, happy, happy. So, when you're not happy, 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 guess how you feel? Alone, alone, alone.
Yeah.
Out of it, out of it, out of it.
Especially when, like I do, I put up the face. I smile, and outside is smiling and inside is not. Yeah.
I call that the I'm fine face. And when you have to suit up and put the I'm fine face on, it's very, very difficult, and it's also very draining for your energy. I do a lot of work in my practice with the tools of energy psychology. So I'm all about your energy. I'm all about working with your energy. I'm all about you conserving your energy and using your energy in the wisest ways. And one of the biggest wastes and one of the worst drains on your energy is trying to pretend you feel something you don't. We've all been there, right? Everybody's been there. Just like Darius described, you put on the I'm fine face, but conversation is painful, and getting dressed is painful, and just doing your hair one more time is painful. And so you get to a place where it's just like, oh my God, it's so much work that you really don't even want to engage. So what do? There's a word that starts with I, that is the thing we do when we don't think we're presentable or we don't feel really great, and it isn't good for us. What's that word?
Isolate.
Exactly. Isolation. When I was a little girl, I don't know if any of you had this experience, my parents, when I was naughty, would say, go to your room and don't come out till you can have a smile on your face. Anybody relate to that one?
Oh, yeah.
So guess what I learned? When I'm not Susie Sunshine, I'm not presentable, I'm not okay, so I have to withdraw. I don't want to burden anybody with my hurt or my anger or my tears, so I go away somewhere quietly by myself. Anybody else ever done that? Yeah, it's very easy to think, oh, I'm not my best self, I should just put myself away. And that's what we do. And the truth is, that's when you need to call a buddy or sit down with somebody, but not just anybody. I really want to stress to you all, when you're not tip-top, when life is difficult and painful, spend your time with safe people. That's why I'm going to tell you, don't go to all those holiday parties with the strangers or the people at the office that you can hardly stand. Go, if you love the people at the office, now they become the safe people. But be with safe people, maybe keep the experiences that you're having smaller and easier. Something that's more comfortable, so you're not draining your energy even further. Does that make sense to everybody? And if you have a burning question at any point, please feel free to jump in. Yes.
So how do you
Lori.
compare or contrast that with fake it till you make it? Because I find sometimes that's a good advice
Love that.
for me, is to put on the happy face and suddenly I do feel better.
Yes. Because you're suddenly feeling sad, you might need to excuse yourself and go, the lady's going to do that. But I like to see you do it as close to the moment you're having the feeling as possible. But while we want to experience our feelings authentically, we don't want to become a monument to despair. So yes, there is a point at which we have to push ourselves a little to get into some kind of action, but maybe that action isn't the high pressure situation of a holiday party or being with strangers or going to dinner with people you can't stand, that kind of thing. So again, I think there is merit to fake it till you make it, but don't fake it in something that's so hard that it's just going to drain you even more. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, personally, from my background, you can do that, I do that, a lot of people do that, but I don't want to make it a habit. And so if I'm doing it a lot, I reflect back and I think, well, what can I change so I'm not in that mode of faking it? Because being real to me is very important. Mm-hmm. And so I try to recognize it, you do what you got to do to get over the moment, and then you try to improve it.
And something that's important to remember about feelings is emotions are energy in motion. There's actually energy really created in your being, in your body, when you feel something. And it's designed to be moved through, expressed, and moved out to make more room in there for new feelings. If we're stuffing things down because we've got the fine face on and we're really heartbroken because we just got some horrible news, then that feeling is not going to be moved up and through. And if this becomes a way of life, those feelings get stored here, pushed there, tucked there, and they wreak havoc in your body. And then they become nasty diseases and emotional and mental conditions.
So maybe fake it till you make it is for sometime when you just don't feel like going to that party. It's not like you're totally absorbed in grief or anything like that.
Right.
But you're going, oh, I really don't want to do this. Okay, I'll pretend like I enjoy it. And pretty soon you do enjoy it.
Yes, because you manage to shift your energy successfully. But there are some other ways to do that too that might be easier.
Right. And what I find is, let's say you've got a tiff with a family member.
Huge.
And so here we are in the holidays, we're expected to get together, we're supposed to be happy and smiley and huggy and kissy, and you know what, I really don't like Uncle Fred. He really bothers me, he insults me, blah, 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 and I gotta fake it, And so, I mean, is this good behavior? What do I do? I mean, how do
I love it you bringing this up. The other day on my radio show, my co-host said, the holidays are synonymous with being locked in rooms with people you sometimes can't stand. and then on Monday, I do a television show called The Silver Hair Tsunami, which is an information show for baby boomers. So one of the things he brought up was they did another segment on the show where they were talking about what if you've loaned money to a family member and they didn't pay you back, and now you got to sit at the holiday table with them and you're miffed. You're really unhappy with that person, just like you're saying. And that's part of the problem with the holidays. We are spending time with family members, sometimes not by choice. Now, I also want to say on the other half of that can be wonderful. It's also the thing that motivates everybody to travel and get together and reunite. So, there's both sides of that coin. But we have to remember that, what I tell people, if they've got to spend holiday time with somebody that they really don't care for, try to go inside and remember what the holidays are all about. And keep in mind, you got 364 other days of the year you can hate that person. Just today, you fake it till you make it. But just try to keep the importance of the holidays in mind. And, but one of the things that happens so often is alcohol is being poured and people are drinking too much. And then those old family feuds rear their ugly heads, and that can be a drag. I have been through some holidays where the family thing, that the in-laws became outlaws. It wasn't pretty. So, we've all been there.
So do you have any other tips to help us navigate these holidays?
I do. And how much time do we have left?
As much as you want.
Oh, cool. Get your sleeping bags out, guys. Okay. So 4 main things I would say to you if you're dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of sadness, or, even just stress. We're all dealing with stress on some level. In fact, this friend said to me the other day, his wife looked at him and said, "It's December 1st tomorrow, and my life is officially not my own for a month." And that's really true, right? Now you've got all these other things to do. 4 things to keep in mind. Be authentic. We've talked about that. Feel your feelings authentically. Try to find those safe people you can talk to and express what's really going on. Cut back. I got to tell you, one of the greatest days of my life was when I said, I'm not writing another Christmas card again, ever. And then actually that year I wrote a few after Christmas when I actually had something to say and time to say it. That was really lovely. Now, next year, did I get 50 cards in the mail? No, because people are vindictive about that. Man, you were crossed off the list. You're on the shit list forever. So, but you know what? I don't care. Because I just had to store those cards or hang them or, whatever I had to do. And now we've got the internet, so everybody is over-informed about what everybody else is doing anyway. Facebook has got to come up with a major Christmas card app or something that they're going to do. So we all kind of are pretty informed. But don't be afraid to cut back. You don't have to go to every party. You don't have to cook everything from scratch. I was talking to a woman today who's dealing with a lot of stress because her husband has got this horrible back issue going on. So imagine this, and ladies, we have a lot of ladies in the room, so let's just be honest. We're hardwired to marry these guys because they're protectors and providers. That's what we needed them for way back when. They were bigger, they were stronger, they could bring the meat home. That's not so much an issue now, but we're still hardwired to want them to be bigger and stronger and protectors. So when a man goes down, like this guy's got this terrible back thing now, and she now is having to wait on him. And she goes, I know this probably sounds selfish, but it's like, I just want to shoot him some days. I'm supposed to say, oh, do it yourself. And I said, of course, there's nothing selfish about that, because many things are going on here. A, the way he tweaked his back, she thought he was kind of stupid for having done, so we got that little issue going on. B, her protector provider is not capable of protecting. So in the hardwiring of our brains, there's an alarm going off here that, whoa, I'm kind of on my own. And then the other thing is it doubles her load. She's got more things to do now. So, you know what, I think we just need to be real. We need to give ourselves a break and not always expect Florence Nightingale, Marilyn Monroe, the wisest woman on the planet. We expect ourselves to be all those things. And the truth is we're just human beings doing this human thing the best we can. So I think to lighten up and give ourselves a break and really give ourselves a pat on the back for the good stuff that we do. I heard this great thing yesterday. For every one negative thought you have to have 3 positive thoughts to counterbalance that. So if you criticize yourself because you were late, now you have to come up with 3 things about yourself that are terrific, that are going to counterbalance that. Because your brain is actually wired for negative thinking, because that's what helped us survive long ago. We had to remember the things that didn't go right, the places where there were danger and the plants that didn't feed but poisoned, So we need to work actively to counterbalance that. So this positive thinking thing, it's not just, oh, la-di-da, what a great idea. It's survival. Survival on a higher level. The other thing I want to encourage you during this time is don't be afraid to create new traditions. You don't have to do everything the same way you've always done it. Especially if you've lost somebody who was part of that picture, it can be agony to try to recreate that picture when it doesn't look that way anymore. So try new things. Go to a different church. I told my client today, Gelson's cooks everything. Just zip right down there and you've got a perfect holiday dinner. She has company coming for 4 days and she's already wiped out. So don't be afraid to bring it in. Nobody cares. They just want to enjoy. They want to have fun, and they want to sip some good wine. And you're going to bring that in anyway. You're not mushing the grapes yourself. Thankfully, these guys do that for us. And finally, I really want to encourage you to take really good care of yourself energetically. So that begins with things like eat right. Try not to poison yourself with more sugar, which is hard not to do at this time of year. Eat a lot of vegetables to counterbalance that. Get as much sleep as you can. Try to keep finding time to get to the gym or take your walk or do that, because moving our bodies is critical. And build in some quiet time. Whether you do that through prayer, meditation, reading a little passage of wisdom and thinking about it a bit. I love gratitude walks. For those of us who need to move, you're moving and you're appreciating what's around you. The new flowers that just bloomed. The sky is blue again, yay. You know, the air feels good. Oh, there's a great fragrance. Just because the vibration. And there's also a list of 10 things that you can do that are helpful for dealing with holiday stress. But my favorite thing on the planet that I do every single day, I want to teach you right now. So I'm going to move my stool out here. This is called balanced breathing. Oh dear, is that not?
No, it's fine. My card got full, so.
This is called balanced breathing. And if you forget how to do it after tonight, if you go to YouTube and plug in Paula Counseling, there are videos of all this stuff and other things too that you can use for de-stressing and to help you with calming and just other kinds of issues. So we're going to cross our ankles, not our knees. This way that we all sit all the time constricts energy, but crossing our ankles is actually good for kind of closing in our available energy. So just for the sake of it being easy to explain to you, everybody cross right over left with your ankles. Oh yeah, you got wine glasses. This is going to be tricky. Can we put them down safely? Can everybody do that? I didn't think about that.
There you go.
Okay, are we all good? Those of you that don't put your wine glasses down, I'll really know who the real wine drinkers are here. Okay, put your hands out in front of you. So we have right over left with the feet. We're going to put left over right with the arms. And then interlace your palms. And then bring your hands up here. This is an ancient yoga posture. And the reason we're doing slip them. There you go. The reason we are doing this is because the natural way that energy flows when it's start out here. Cross out here first. It's impossible to figure it out here. Stick your arms straight out. Okay, and then put left over right. Now, hook them out. It's easier if you hook them when they're out straight.
Left over
No,
right.
no, no.
Left over right.
Here.
I couldn't do that to me.
Now turn.
I had it. She's like,
And then dip under and up. There you go.
that's my scarf on.
So let me just one more time. Arms straight, left over right. Hook your palms out here. It's easier to do that. Then drop, lift. Okay, are we all good? Now that we've done that, I can tell you could also do this. And the reason that we are doing this is because when energy is flowing properly, it flows in the shape of the infinity sign. When we're stressed and we're upset, our energy looks more like this. It's going cuckoo. And that doesn't help us. We can feel it when it's like that, can't we? You almost, pant just in. But when it's doing this, it's so mellow. So this is as close as we can get as human beings to looking like a figure 8. So when we sit in this posture, and I didn't make this up, some yogi did 1,000 years ago. When we sit in this posture, or we stand, or it's easier to sit, then we're kind of showing the energy, the pathway that we want it to follow. But if this isn't comfortable for your hands, truly you can do this because the idea is that the limbs of one side cross the midline and end up on the other. Okay? When I'm at the airport, and I'm doing this, and I'm always doing it at the airport because I'm always stressed, I do it like this in my lap. Nobody can tell what you're doing. So make it work for you. Now, you combine this, you can do it any way that's comfortable for you guys right now. You combine this with a breath. And the breath looks like this. You breathe in through the nose with the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. You release through the mouth and drop the tongue back down on the floor of the mouth. So in breath, tongue on the roof of the mouth. Out breath, tongue on the floor of the mouth. Now, at your own pace, I want you to do that. Close your eyes, go at your own pace, and just remember, breathing in through the nose, tongue on the roof of the mouth, releasing through the mouth, with the tongue back down on the floor of the mouth. And as you continue this breathing method, just focus on feeling balanced, grounded, just remember that right here, right now is all that exists. All the rest is past or future. And only when our bodies and our minds are present in this moment, in the same place, are we fully experiencing our lives. So just breathing in, and I like to imagine I'm breathing in light, filling my being with light. And then release any angst, any sadness, any darkness, anything that takes you away from feeling joyful, balanced, and comfortable. When you do this, you can do it as long as you like, but you can also do it for only a minute or two, and it's still like hitting the restart button. I call it putting deposits in my bliss bank because this process is cumulative. So the more you do it, the more you will consistently feel Zen-like, with or without your poison. So let's all take about 3 more breaths together. And when you feel ready, release your hands and open your eyes. Who notices that they feel different? Good. That's an energy shift. That's what we just did. So sometimes if you're not feeling great, rather than having to fake it till you make it, you can do a process like this and actually feel better. This process, by the way, is great if you get that tired feeling around 4 o'clock, or if you're ever around somebody that really drains your energy. When you get a second, excuse yourself to the ladies' room or wherever you can, and do a couple minutes of balanced breathing. It's like hitting the restart button. And the more you do it, the better it works. I do this every single day. So 3 breaths in, and I can feel the shift. So use it. Use it. And I think you'll find it really helps. And for this time of year, it's like sitting down, picking this up, taking a deep breath, and going, ah. So, in addition, oh, I'm sorry, were you about to say something?
Good.
That's one of my favorite techniques. I want to give you one other that's great for releasing stuff. Because people are going to say things to you that are going to miff you, or somebody's going to not appreciate your gift or all the work you went through or whatever. When those feelings start mounting up, here's a very simple method. The letters that are the title of it are PEP, which stands for Psychoanalytic Energy Psychology Release, or something of that nature, but just remember PEP. And if you look on my YouTube channel, it's called PEP. Very simple. We work with acupoints a lot in energy psychology because somehow the Chinese figured out a zillion years ago that these are power points. And if we touch them, because we're putting energy out from our fingertips, from our palm chakras, from our big chakras, from places all over the body, we have energy working. And if we have physical contact with that energy, it can cause things to shift. Well, we have these very powerful points right in front of our armpits called lung alarm points. Anybody in here an acupuncture person? No? Okay. The lung alarm points are really powerful because, well, without our lungs, what do we got, a minute or two that we're still here and that's over, right? So this is a very simple method. You can pretty much do it anytime, anywhere. So you just cross your arms, and if you lift your elbows, you're going to feel a hollow, like right about here, in front of your armpit. And that's the point. So now you can rest your elbows back down. And just for fun, think of something that's stressing you right now. Something you gotta do, or something you're worried about, or someone you gotta have a conversation with, or all those things that life holds for us. And on a 0 to 10, think about how much that's bothering you. 0, it's not bothering you at all. 10, oh my God. You can hardly think about it. And then I want you to you're going to say these words along with me, but when it gets to the part where you fill in your issue, you'll all say that to yourself silently, okay? So, I release my,
my,
and then whatever it is, my anger, my frustration, my hurt, my worry, say it to yourself, whatever it's about. And just keep breathing, holding those points. And then let's say this part together. I know this, whether it's a feeling or emotion or an emotion or a situation or whatever. I know this is a temporary thing. And I choose not to feed it. Make it bigger. By giving it my attention. So I release it right here, right now. And for all time. And across all planes of existence. Okay, now I want you to just close your eyes and imagine you're almost like a sponge. And whatever this thing is, just release it like bubbles coming off of you, floating out into the universe. Just allow it to leave your being and go out there. Each breath, just bring in more light, and on the out breath, release whatever this feeling is, whatever it is that you're dealing with. And just breathe into that. And now, if you would, say with me, I release all the roots and origins.
Thoughts and energy fields. Surrounding
whatever it is. Say it to yourself. Let's just take about 3 more nice deep breaths together. Each breath feeling lighter and lighter and freer and seeing this thing for the not such a big deal that it really is. And then you can release your hands. And now think about your issue. Anybody have an issue out of 10? Okay. Does it still feel like a 10 when you think about it now? What does it feel like? More like what number?
Maybe 5.
Well, that's great. That's half. And you can do it again. You know, there's no restrictions on how many times you can do it. So Lori might want to do this when she gets home and get it down to a 0. You know, and the other thing I want to leave you with is set intention before you do anything. When I get up in the morning, I set an intention about how I want that whole day to go. If you're going holiday shopping, my intention is that I'm going to find the perfect gifts easily, smoothly, and I'm going to be out of there and having a cup of coffee or a glass of wine in an hour. You know, because energy's random. It's like ping pong balls shooting all over in a wind tunnel. But when you set an intention, that's like bringing in a tube that's going to suck those balls in the direction that you want them to go. So setting intention is really powerful. Every week, no matter who the guest is on my radio show, we set an intention before we start the show. And I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Set an intention every day in your life, and you can set many intentions throughout the day. Makes a huge difference. So I'm going to pass out these lists, but I think we have a little question. Or did you want to ask any other questions here?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of expand upon this a little bit. I often felt that the universe was against me. No matter what I tried, the universe just was out to screw me no matter what. And then I sat back and I really thought, and I said, the universe can really do nothing to me, right? The only thing really the universe can do is hit me with lightning. Other than that, what can it do to me? And, you could say something to me, but that's, it's how I interpret things. And that's where my stress comes from. It's how I interpret the world. And it's that I'm creating the stress in my life. And yes, people are hitting my hot buttons, but that's still me creating it. And I love this, having this intention that I say, I'm gonna have a great day. And I put that in my mind, and I say, and you know what? It works. It really, really does work. And you know, when you realize that the world's not out to get you, it's you're out to get yourself. And once you figure that out, then things become a little bit easier. A little bit easier.
Can I add a point? Because that's such a great point. Remember, guys, we are energetic beings. I know we look solid and everything, but we're actually more energy than we are solid matter. And energy is vibrating, okay, at different frequencies. And energy puts out a vibration, and it will attract a vibrational match. So if the energy I'm putting out, as Darius is, I'm going to have a great day, the universe is going to line up and bring to me experiences that are going to match the energy I'm putting out. Years ago, I went to Paris, and I remember going, oh, the French are so terrible, you know, they're so nasty. And I thought,